Hello, my name is Tim Fleming. I'm the co-founder of the Motivation Institute. And in this short clip, we're going to go a little bit deeper with our definition of flourishing. We define flourishing and using a definition from Maureen Miner and Martin Dowson from Wesley Institute and University of Western Sydney. They are two psychologists, and they have an incredible definition of flourishing. Flourishing is the holistic realization and altruistic expression of human potential. Now, that's a lot of words, and I think it requires a little bit of breakdown. And so the four words that we are going to focus on in that definition are holistic, realization, altruistic, and expression. So first, what does it mean to be holistic? To be holistic means that the different components of our lives are connected. They are intertwined. That is how we think, or the cognitive element of our lives affect our emotions, which affects our body and how we feel physically. They are interconnected. For instance, there was a study done by Hillman and Kramer in 2009, and they found that exercise, that is physical exercise, creates neurogenesis in the hippocampus, that is, creates new brain cells that allows for increased focus and concentration. That's a cognitive benefit. That's one example of physical exercise having a positive effect on our cognitive abilities. In another study done by Eisenberger in 2013, we see that emotional love and physical warmth are actually interchangeable. The study found that those who read love notes, notes of affection, were more likely to feel physically warm than those who read neutral notes. In another sense, it found that those who held hand warmers in their hands reported higher levels of affectionate love and feelings of emotional warmth than did those who held cold packs. And those are two very, very simple, very small examples of how the different elements of our lives are interconnected. Number two, realization. Now, realization in this definition is a nod to self-actualization, which is a component of positive psychology. It's the goal. It is the absolute end of positive psychology is self-actualization. And there are three elements to self-actualization, three indicators. The first is that of underlying contentment. This is referred to as non-contingent positive effect. That simply means that your positive effect, your positive emotions about your life are not contingent upon the circumstances, non-contingent positive effect. In other words, how content are you with your life? How much do your circumstances dictate your levels of positivity in reference to your life? The second indicator of self-actualization, that is realization, is that of a stable sense of self and agency. Now, what does that mean? That means that you have a stable identity. You know who you are. You have an understanding of who you are, acquired through contemplation, acquired through self-reflection. And you have a sense of some kind of control over your life and your outcomes. For positive psychologists, if you do not have a sense of agency, that is control over your life and outcome, you cannot be said to be flourishing. And the third is that of dynamic equilibrium. Now, dynamic equilibrium is a fancy way of saying that you are continuously growing. You are continuously seeking to integrate your personal experiences into your whole worldview. You are integrating your personal experiences and your life experiences in order to make sense of them, in order to draw meaning from them. And so when you put the two words holistic realization together, what you get is that you are seeking to be your absolute best. You are seeking to reach your potential in every area of your life. That is cognitive, emotional, that is interpersonal and intrapersonal. Now, moving on to the final part of the definition, the first word we get is altruistic. Altruism is simply benefiting others. Now, altruism must happen freely. It cannot come from a sense of compulsion or coercion, because then it's not altruism. If you do something good for someone out of a compulsion, or someone threatens you and forces you to do something good for someone else, you are not going to reap the benefits, the cognitive and emotional benefits of helping someone else, because you are doing it for other reasons. Altruism, benefiting others, must happen freely in order to be altruism. And lastly, for the word expression, it simply means that you go out and do it. It's not enough to be altruistic in heart, but there must be actions that match. And so if we put the definition of flourishing together, the definition says the holistic realization and altruistic expression of human potential. It simply means that you're reaching your fullest potential in every area of your life and using that potential to benefit others.